You're watching Grow for Justice, where we tell real stories of courage, focus, and extraordinary moments that define true warriors. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe and tell us in the comments. Where are you watching from? Now, imagine this. A clear Afghan dawn, mountains rising like blades, the world silent except for the whisper of the wind and one steady heartbeat. She lies motionless, eyes fixed through a Barrett .50 caliber scope, waiting. The distance between her and the target? 3,247 meters, that's over 2 miles. Even the SEAL commander watching her through binoculars didn't believe it was possible. But in the next 3 seconds, she would prove everyone wrong. Her name was Lieutenant Kara Reeves, 28 years old, Navy sniper, trained under Task Force Echo. She wasn't the type to talk much in the field. Silence was survival. Her team called her Falcon 9 because of her steady hands and her unmatched eye for distance. Before she joined the Navy, she was a mechanical engineer. The kind who could take apart a rifle blindfolded and rebuild it faster than most could reload. That morning, Kara's mission wasn't just another patrol. It was a high-altitude overwatch operation on the outskirts of Nuristan. Intelligence had confirmed that a convoy of armed insurgents was planning to move through the valley below, carrying stolen data drives that could expose American troop routes. Stopping them was vital. The SEAL commander, Marcus Hale, led the team from the forward base, but Kara was his overwatch, set 3 ridgelines away, higher than any drone could safely hover. The Barrett M82A1 rested on the rocky ground, its long barrel gleaming faintly in the sunrise. That range. Even the Earth's curvature mattered. Wind, humidity, altitude. Every variable could shift the shot by meters. But Kara didn't just rely on her optics. She felt the environment. She studied the sway of dust, the glint of heat from the valley floor, the slow drag of thin mountain air. Falcon 9, status? Came Hale's voice over comms. Eyes on target. 2 vehicles confirmed. Movement southwest, 3,200 meters, she whispered. Her voice was calm, steady as the mountains around her. Roger that, Hale replied. We'll wait for your mark. The SEAL unit was ready below, hidden behind boulders, waiting for a signal that Kara's role wasn't just to shoot. It was to decide when. The Barrett .50 wasn't built for stealth. One shot would echo across the valley. That meant she had only one chance. She exhaled slowly, adjusting her scope. The first vehicle rolled into view, a pickup truck armed with a heavy machine gun. Through her lens, Kara saw the convoy leader giving hand signals. He carried a sat phone on his belt. That's him, she thought. Target designated. Wind speed, 6 knots from the east. Elevation, 6,200 feet. Distance, 3,247 meters. She adjusted for drop. Nearly 10 meters at that range and dialed her scope. Then she went still. The world narrowed to her breathing and the crosshair. She whispered to herself. One shot. No second chances. The SEAL commander watched from below, not fully believing she could even attempt a 3-kilometer hit. But when the shot broke, the valley answered with silence. Even the birds seemed to freeze. The Barrett roared, a thunderclap rolling across the mountains. 3 seconds of stillness followed. Then, through the lens, Kara saw the convoy leader drop the sat phone. The mission was over before anyone below understood what had happened. Command, this is Falcon 9, Kara said quietly. Target neutralized. Convoy halted. Hale's voice came back after a pause. Disbelief mixed with admiration. Confirmed distance again? 3,247 meters, she said. Jesus, he muttered. You just made history. Back at the base, when Kara walked into the debrief tent, every SEAL stood up, and no one had to tell them what she'd done. The spotters had already measured and confirmed the range. The SEAL commander himself removed his cap. You just broke a record I didn't think was humanly possible, he said. Kara only smiled faintly. Just another day at work, sir. What most people didn't know was how much preparation it took. Weeks of range calculation, ballistics testing, and mental conditioning that she'd practiced long-range shots under simulated high-altitude winds. Her team had modified the Barrett's barrel, customized the recoil system, and adjusted the muzzle brake for stability. She had memorized every variable, from bullet flight time to atmospheric drag. But none of that could replace instinct. When reporters later asked her how she did it, she simply said, "You don't think about the shot. You trust the math, trust your breath, and you feel the distance." The record was entered into the Navy's training logs as Operation Falcon Reach. It became a benchmark in sniper schools around the world, not for the kill itself, but for the precision, patience, and control it represented. To the SEALs, Kara wasn't just another sniper. She was a symbol of perfection under pressure. Months later, Commander Hale invited her to train a new unit of recruits. During her first briefing, one young recruit nervously asked, "Ma'am, is it true you made the shot no one thought was possible?" Kara looked at him, smiled slightly, and said, "There's no such thing as impossible, just uncalculated." From that day on, her name became legend, whispered in training halls, cited in ballistics manuals, respected across every branch. But Kara herself never sought fame. She preferred the silence of the range, the echo of her own breath, and the sound of a clean shot that never missed. She often said, "The best warriors aren't the loudest. They're the ones who know when to stay still." And perhaps that's why the SEAL commander admired her most. Not for what she did, but for who she was when no one was watching. So next time someone tells you something can't be done, remember her. The woman who stunned the SEAL commander with a 3,247-meter shot, and did it not for glory, but for precision, duty, and discipline. This is Grow for Justice, where we honor courage, focus, and the truth behind the quiet heroes of our time. If Kara's story inspired you, hit that subscribe button right now and tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? Because stories like this remind us, greatness doesn't shout, it whispers from miles away.